evening and welcome to my channel, Say Something with Mads. I am Madhumita Adya, a youth mentor, neuroscience coach, and a UNSDG ambassador. Welcome once again. Through this channel, we entertain, inform, and inspire youth from across the globe through the power of connection and communication. My channel aims to empower Gen Z to become the best possible version of themselves and live a life of no regrets. Today is my 15th episode, and I have Kyra Gore with me. I will straight away welcome her. Kyra, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. And first of all, I must tell this that I ask so many young people to come on my channel whom I know, whom I don't know. I connect with them, but very few people say yes. So when you say yes to come on a channel, it shows you have guts to take anything new, and I must applaud it, Kyra. I'm so happy to have you. And for viewers, I know her from her childhood, but I don't want to ask those questions right now. First, let us hear about who Kyra is and what is she doing right now. And she will have to tell me about the meaning of her beautiful name, Kyra. Over to you, Kyra.
First of all, thank you so much, Auntie, for giving me this opportunity. Hi, everyone. I'm Kyra Gore. I'm 18 years old and I live in Mumbai. So my name, Kaira, is actually an Irish name and it means princess in Irish. I know it seems made up, but it's actually true. My name
Oh,
does.
yes, lovely.
Yeah. So a little bit about me. I just finished my 12th grade IBDP last year and now I'm in first year of college. I'm currently studying in the National University of Singapore, NUS, and I'm studying mechanical engineering and double majoring in innovation and design. So, a little bit about who I am. I consider myself to be a very sporty, outdoors kind of person, and I love playing football, and I'm also into track. Other than this, I love any hands on activities, especially origami is something I've been doing for a really long time now. So, yeah,
Oh,
that's who I am.
okay. And first of all, I've picked up that origami. If you have something to show at the end of this talk, if you have something around you, you can show it. And what a beautiful backdrop you have. I really love the place where you're sitting. So let's go directly. Yeah, Kyra, the princess. Actually, I know you since childhood, and I never thought about this, but this is something which I ask everyone, and I come up with such amazing meanings of the names. So, today's Kyra has chosen, as she mentioned, that she has been a footballer since her childhood. Since which age you are playing, Kyra?
Since sixth grade, so
Okay,
since I was
since
11 years
six.
old. Yeah.
And the topic today is very relevant and it will resonate with everybody. It is overcoming gender stereotypes. And as she said that she's a footballer, she will have a lot to share about her view on gender stereotypes. So straight away over to you, Kyra. What do you think of this topic, and what kind of stereotypes girls have to face right now? What is happening? Like when I think about my times when I was in 80s growing up, I'm that old, yes. So I had I wanted to drive, I wanted to ride a bike, and those days it was considered as a very taboo, like, okay, girls bike. But I made sure that I rode a bike, and I fell down. I had accidents of it, and people started saying to my father, they called and said, why are you giving this heavy bike to her? Whereas the boys used to ride. I was in grade 8 that time, and I rode that bike in my colony. I was in an Air Force colony, and people still remember that you broke that taboo, and many girls rode a bike after me. So I think that these small things. So I would be interested to know what is going on about breaking gender stereotypes. What do you have to say about that?
So I think the biggest challenge faced by women nowadays is in the workplace and the type of jobs women are supposed to have or the position that they're supposed to be in their jobs. like usually people associate engineering or any STEM subjects to be more of a
Yes,
man's job.
yes.
And for example, even if I take my mechanical engineering class in my first semester, I was one of the very few girls in my class, and that was actually the first thing I noticed, that
Mm,
people automatically associate mechanical engineering to be a man's subject and a man's field to study.
mm,
So, but if you take it up a notch, I feel like housewives has become such a common term to hear now. And a
mm,
lot of people's mindsets, it's become a norm to associate housework with the females in the house, and office or work outside the house to be associated with the males.
mm.
But I think this situation has improved a lot over the past few years. And I'm sure you must have heard a new term coined now as such as like house husbands.
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
house husbands have also become increasingly popular. So I think this has been improving
Mm,
from the past few years, and it will only get better, I think, in
better.
the future. So, but another example, I think, where girls have to face gender stereotypes, where I can talk from personal experiences in
Yes.
sports,
Mm,
and how girls should only play quiet, peaceful games, while the more physical, aggressive games should be left for the boys.
mm,
And along with sports, also in the way girls are supposed to behave, they're
mm.
usually stereotyped to be more polite and accommodating, while boys can be rowdy and strong and aggressive, which I think is, it's not a right way to associate like girls and boys with such distinct characteristics.
Even now, Kyra, we are talking about 2022, 2023, and however much we say that things are changing, it is changing very slowly. Even about the hair, I remember you used to have very short hair throughout your life because if you're a sportsman, you cannot afford to keep longer hair. It gets entangled and it takes time. I also had a boy cut hair throughout my life, and it was always looked upon, frowned upon as okay, these are not signs of beauty. Do you agree?
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Okay, so these are there in the back of the mind. People still have this. It will take time, but yes, we are in good times. But I'm sure there are people who are not just they are not living the life we are. They still face a lot of gender stereotypes. So coming to your football, when you said take me through the journey of your football. I know that you continued playing throughout your grade 10 and 12. Am I right? So take me how it started and how did you have the guts to continue this? I mean, it takes a lot of courage to defy and say that no, I will continue playing. Plus, I will complete my education and ace them both. So, how did it all happen? What mental strength it requires?
So my journey started in fifth grade when I used to go to school for athletics practice, while my sister at the same time used to go for football practice. And the football coach saw me running around the field and said, maybe you should join football next year. It seems like something you would enjoy. So
Okay.
in sixth grade, I automatically enrolled for football training in school. And that's when my football journey started. I played for school, I played a lot of tournaments. And in
And
ninth and 10th,
which was your school?
Bombay
Bombay
Scottish.
Scottish. So you had a football girls proper team you had, and you were won lot of laurels. Yeah, I remember. So,
So, the reason I continued playing football is because of the pure joy it gave me and the amount it taught me. So,
hmm,
right from time management to teamwork to leadership, like football, it contributed to everything I am today. And
hmm.
also, the friends that I made along the way, I'm pretty sure they'll stay for a lifetime. So, that's one of the major reasons I continued playing all the way till grade 10.
Okay. And what about now? How are you looking at sports now, and what is your scenario? Are you into campus sports, or what are you doing now?
Now at college, I like the first semester I took a little while to settle in, but after I settled in, like I still play football even in Singapore. So that's
Oh, great. That's so nice. Coming back to our question of gender stereotypes, we all are into the age of social media, and we see a lot of advertisements and a lot of posts on same topic. So we sometimes become very you know insensitive towards these things, and we said ye chalta hai, ye to dikhate hi hai. So some things which like, okay, the girls have to play with toys, Barbie dolls and something like that, and they have to be pink in color, still has stereotypes still. And what would you say about the social media and advertisement, and how are they projecting, how are they influencing this gender stereotypes? Are they doing something about it, or what is your take on that?
Um, I feel like media and social media and advertisement, they have the power to manipulate the crowds because
Hmm.
what we see is what we actually believe. So
Hmm.
they have like the increased use of social media and the impact it has on the youth nowadays is actually scary. Like with Instagram and the different advertisements on social media or advertisements in the newspaper, television, etc. This can very easily be used to spread more awareness. And also, I feel like media spreads a lot of awareness, especially media through sports coverage, for example.
Okay.
I feel this is something that we lack at a lot when we're comparing men's sports with women's sports. If,
Hmm.
for example, just last month, the women's hockey team, the Indian women's hockey team, they won the championship at the FIH Nationals Cup, and they had no recognition. As in, like if it was the men's hockey team, there would have been a way bigger uproar, for example.
Hmm.
So, but all this again, it comes back to media and media coverage for sports. So, I feel like if there's more coverage for
Yes.
women's sports in general, there will be more awareness for women's sports, and then there will be lesser discrimination. So, sports coverage is an extremely important method to reduce this discrimination between men and women's sports.
Hmm.
And it just shows support in general, not only for like
Hmm.
females across the world, but even for the players. Just getting recognition, I feel like it shows support.
Hmm.
So, media has the power to challenge these
Absolutely.
stereotypical norms and promote the balanced coverage of men's and women's sport. So, I think, yeah, it should be used to an advantage.
When you said that media coverage and this the incident of hockey versus football team, women's football team, where are they? Like nobody even knows about that. Of course, India is not on a very even in men's football, we don't have much to show. But yes, but one thing which I found is very interesting is we had women referees this time in World Cup football. So that was something a path breaking, isn't it? For a football lover
Yes,
like you would say the women referee something Qatar World Cup had shown us. Now, as you were talking, I was reminded of some movies where they show a women protagonist as a fighter jet plane. They are the fighters. They are the soldiers, but they are very few and far between. Once in a while, the one movie will come, right? So the Janvi Kapoor movie, which showed she's a pilot, it didn't even get the traction which needed. So there are no movies made on football stars, right? And a girl can be a football like Bennett, like Beckham was one iconic movie you remember. What do you think about that? Any movies which comes to your mind where the gender stereotype is broken?
Um, I think the first thing that comes to my mind is Chak De India because,
Yeah, yeah,
like, merely for the number of times I've seen that movie, it's one of my
absolutely.
favorite movies. So
Correct,
Chak De
correct.
India, I think it was also one of the first movies that showed like females in sport,
Yeah,
if I'm not
absolutely.
mistaken.
It's
Yeah.
one of the like okay that whenever go to movie. Have you seen Bennett like Beckham?
Yes, I have.
All footballers would.
Yeah.
It's one of the iconic movies too. So I think a lot more can be done on this by the media, by the films and all. Anything which comes to your mind? See, you were talking about that. Yes, gender neutral ads are now the norm. Nobody wants to like companies like Unilever, like Dove. They are doing a lot like Pantene. They have a lot of topics, lot of advertisements which really give us hope. Do you remember anything which comes to your mind? Something which you can share?
I think I know one advertisement, which is the Ariel, the washing powder, the laundry
Yeah,
detergent
correct.
advertisement, which was all about sharing the load. And
Yes.
it's about how a father observes his daughter juggling housework and office work, and then introspects his own role in the house, and then helps his wife doing housework while she can go out and do work for the house. So advertisements like these, I feel like it spreads more awareness
Beautiful,
in
yeah,
breaking
beautiful.
typical gender stereotypes, which shows
I
progress.
know. Good choice. Yeah, I remember that, and that's a very impactful when a generation, the elder generation, like they think that what they have done is not right, and they go back. It's a beautiful ad. Thanks for sharing that. I've forgotten about it. Now, coming to a very important part of in talking about gender stereotypes, what are the role of parents is very important, and what do you think, how parents, a very a simple thing like how to talk to your girl child, or to talk about things they can do, setting a boundary when they come want to come home, is it going to be equal for a boy and a girl? Since I know you are both sisters, and I also grew up being another, I have my sibling who's who's a sister, my sister. So I don't think I saw it, but even in where houses have male child and a female child, there are kind of things parents have to keep in mind to not give that impression that there is a stereotype set in. What do we think the parents' role is?
I think in a child's life, the parents play the most important role because they are responsible for the upbringing of the child. And this is extremely important because growing up, all you see is your parents in the house.
Correct.
So for me, fortunately, I had a perfect example of my parents where there was no discrimination between like the roles they played because my father was a male and my mother was a female.
Have you seen around people, your friends and all, talk to you about how restrictions are placed on girls not doing anything? Did you hear any girl say that, and if I wanted to do this, I wanted to play the game, football, but my parents stopped me? Do you have any incidents which you can share among your peer
Yeah,
and friends?
in fact, even in my school football team, not everyone's parents were supportive of them playing.
Huh.
And sometimes if we had practice, luckily my parents were able to drop me every morning. But a lot of parents weren't supportive at all. Like they said, "Oh, you're a girl. You don't have
What
to
will
go
you
for
do? Huh?
practice. It's fine. Yeah, what's the point?"
What's the point?
So yeah,
And
but
another thing is, yeah, there's color. Okay, धूप में you खेलोगे. Okay, the skin and all that, the beauty aspect of football. So many parents I've heard say that. So I mean, that's something which I think many girls face it, right? You know, in the school you're talking about, these becomes a very a trendsetter. The schools can teach a lot through these things. Like, okay, you are asking for it, so you're given. So that's something which again makes us think that yes, how many schools? As you said, I really don't remember many schools where I have taught as a girl football. Yeah, DY Patil did have one, but not Billabong. I remember they don't have. So more and more schools should have football, girls football team, according to what Kyra is saying. Now,
it
Kyra,
should also. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I feel like it should also just be like more supported because a lot of the times the girls are always outnumbered by the boys. And I mean, it's also happened to me a lot of times when I'm the only girl playing with a lot of boys. I feel like a little embarrassed. I get a
yeah.
little shy.
Uh,
And this was also this was one of the main reasons that my sister and I started an initiative in the lockdown of teaching the young girls in our society how to play football. So
yeah.
it was a very interesting journey about for about 3 to 4 months
Okay,
where
share about this. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
So in the lockdown we realized that not a lot of children get time off their screens. So we decided to start an initiative where every weekend we would call just the girls, no boys, just the girls of our society downstairs, and we would teach them how to play football every weekend. And it started off with just a group of 5 girls, and by the end of it, we had a group of 18 girls.
Oh,
So that was something that we were really proud of by the end of it. And just to see the joy that they got by playing every weekend, and from having never have touched a football to now playing downstairs every day with their friends, it's really
ah,
heartwarming and eye-opening.
amazing. This deserves an applause. Now we'll move to the next section where I ask you some question to know you better. So tell me your strength and weaknesses, Kyra. One strength and one weakness, or I would say limitation.
I would say one of my strengths is that if I put my mind to something, I can do it no matter what. And I feel like once I decide something, I'm very hardworking and I will go to whatever extent needed till I achieve what I want. And I have the patience to sit for hours if required, but I will work till I achieve it. So I think that's one of my biggest
Strength,
strengths.
yes, absolutely. It's a strength like which will take you way ahead. Yeah. What about your limitation? What is something which you have to work on?
I think my weakness would hands down be that I overthink everything and stress on every small little thing I can think
Okay.
of.
Okay.
And I think it's very common for a lot of people this age, but it's one thing I feel like I need to improve on because it causes unnecessary problems.
Correct. And it is not going to solve anything. Whatever is going to happen. You don't even know till you reach
Yeah.
when you cross the bridge. Now, coming to interesting question, I want this answer is that who is your role model and why? Anybody whom you have met, not met, from your family, anybody, but give me a reason why they are your role model.
I would say my parents are my role models. It seems like a very generic answer, but in my case, at least, I feel like everything I am today is only because of the set of them and the way I've been brought up. And like the number of opportunities they've given me, I'm beyond
Yeah,
grateful. And
yeah,
yeah, I aspire to be like them when I grow up. I mean, again, this ties back to the question about the parents' role that in
yes.
my life. So yeah, I think they've
It's
played an extremely important role.
It's so
And
beautiful to when you have role model in your house who you don't have to look out. But how many teens can say that? But I'm so glad that your parents are your role model, and that's a tribute to them and it's hats off to them for you to say that. Wonderful. I'm sure when your parents listen to this, they'll be very happy. Okay. Now coming to my next question is. Uh, what if you have to you are given a chance to run the country, okay, and you have to choose three people in your cabinet from anywhere in the world? Who would those three people be and why?
I think
Anybody, anything who comes to your mind. With those three people, you can name only three.
I think first I would choose Greta Thunberg
Oh wow, lovely. Okay, yeah,
because at such a young age, I mean, the amount she's achieved is it's
good.
amazing. So, um,
A
and
role.
like just to think about the way she thinks and her life story is something I find really interesting. So she would be the first. Then second, I would say Veer Das. Have you heard
Oh,
of Veer
yes,
Das?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I would say Veer Das because um,
It
not
requires guts to what
yeah.
he does. Yeah.
Yeah, and not only because of his sense of humor and his wittiness, but also the like his I feel like his thought process is really interesting and he
Yeah,
has some brilliant ideas. So yeah, why
yeah.
not?
And he would be a good cabinet to run with humor, not to
Yeah.
take things seriously. The satire is something which works well. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed about the third person. Who is the third chair?
Third person I think would be Meghan Markle, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, because of her life story again and the
yeah.
amount she's gone through, she knows what it is to be a woman and she's all for women empowerment. So I think that's something that would really benefit the world
Your
right now.
cabinet. Yeah, amazing. This is something unique. Okay, my next question is you have to go back to school to teach today. What are the three things you would introduce in school right now, which you think you missed out and the students need to do?
I would say first, I think it's extremely important for everyone to play some or the other sport.
Okay,
So that
compulsory.
would be
Yeah.
compulsory for everyone.
Okay.
Like it doesn't matter what sport, whatever
Yeah.
is of their choice or liking, but
Okay.
everyone should play at least
Goodbye.
one sport.
Correct.
Second, I think I wouldn't make exams such a big deal. At
Okay.
least in my school, like exams were for a lot of people, exams determined like their knowledge and like the way like their IQ level, which I don't think is very
Right.
accurate. So I wouldn't give so much importance to exams as it has been in our curriculum for the past I don't know how many years.
Mm.
So that would be the second. And third,
Any skill which you think you needed, maybe about finance, you need to know something.
that's actually a very important skill because right now, just like some time back, I was thinking about how not a lot of people know about how to manage their money well, and that's a skill everyone needs to have, like
Yeah,
in the future,
actually.
no matter what. So for it to be taught in school, it could benefit
Yeah.
in the long run.
And
Yeah.
not like a subject, like economics is not
Yeah.
about finance all the time, like just about money management. Coming to, I think the section is about you asking me something. So, what would you ask me? So, if you have given anything, you are free to ask.
I was
It's
thinking
a role
about this.
reversal. It's a role reversal.
Yeah. I was thinking about this actually. I was like, how come you decided to target the youth and make this channel like a youth channel? Like why not call experienced people to talk about like
Ah.
their life? How come you've chosen to target the youth?
Yes, that's something which I've been asked by many of the youth guests I have, but I'm always ready to answer it again and again because we learn so much from people who have achieved something. We have gurus who are speaking about finance, about lifestyle, mindfulness, etc. We read so many books, but what about the people who are going through this thing? We read a lot of books on teen, lot of books on how to handle teens, parenting books, but none of the books tell us what you all want to say. So I wanted to create this platform where you speak about what is important to you. And this segment, when you speak, resonates more with the youth rather than reading a book or reading from somebody who is an expert. I'm not against experts, but I think that I love listening and learning from you all much more than what I learn from experts. Great. And yeah, this is something which hope to continue and I hope to bring people like you on this channel. Coming to my last segment, tell me something which people look forward to this segment a lot because I myself look forward. Like, what are the movies or series or any book, podcast, anything which inspires you, anything which you listen, anybody whom you follow regularly on Insta, would you like to share something with people who can get inspired? Any footballer you follow? Anybody? Any Israelis lifestyle? Any celebrity or somebody or anything which you can share?
I think I can talk about a movie that I
Yeah.
really like. It stuck with me ever since I saw it.
Okay.
It's called The Theory of Everything.
Okay.
It's about the story of Stephen Hawking right from when he was a
Ah,
student at
yes.
Cambridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's about his life story and how he defies the odds with his health, with his medical condition, and breaks new ground in the field of medicine and science. So that was, yeah, it was a really emotional and well put, inspiring movie, and
Oh,
that's one of my favorites actually. So
super,
yeah.
great. I've noted it down. I think I've seen it long back, and now I would see it again. And I was speaking to another guest of mine who suggested to see, you can see this too. We all know about Sherlock Holmes, but we don't
Yeah,
know Sherlock Holmes has a sister called Enola Holmes. Okay, so Enola Holmes, have you seen that?
yeah, I've seen the movie.
So I think she said that, okay, well, you must watch it. I said, I never knew about it, so I must watch this. All right, we come to the end of this talk show. Beautiful session we had. Would you like to end it with a few lines of, would you like to sing something? Or if you want to pass it, how will you like to end it by saying something to the audience to sum this whole interview?
I'm not much of a singer, but I can end with saying that like some advice that I would give is like never restrict yourself because of what you're if you're worried about what others will think of you. Like always just go for it. If you enjoy it, go for it. If you don't get the support, but if you still enjoy it, like go for it. Don't hold yourself back because you're worried about what others will think of you or what will happen if you do it. Like if you enjoy it and you want to do it, just go for it. That's what
Wow,
I would
lovely.
say.
Lovely thoughts to end this talk. And also, as we started by saying that every one of us need to break the gender stereotype wherever we are and give more opportunity to girls, whether it's in the field you said, in corporate, at home, in sports field, wherever we are, in politics, anywhere. We need more women. And with this beautiful talk, Kyra, I'm so thankful that you came on my show, and I hope to meet you in person very soon. Best of luck for your future, and I know that very soon you'll be going back to Singapore. And all the best,
Thank
and
you
may
so
you
much.
shine, and may you follow your passion of playing football.
Thank you so much.